It's feeling very wintry now. We're only into the end of November as I'm filming this, but we're already getting frostier mornings, temperatures have dropped, a lot of leaves have fallen off the trees, which is quite sad because I love the autumn leaves, but it's definitely getting me in the mood to get ready for winter, which I do love. I know a lot of people aren't a winter fan, but I really love this. It's a really cozy, slow season, so I thought I would film a little getting ready for winter vlog today. I did one for the autumn time and I really enjoyed filming it. I think you guys enjoyed watching it, so I thought this could be like a regular feature on my channel. So we're just going to have a bit of a cozy day together. I want to look ahead, so I want to look ahead for the month of December, for the winter, maybe even through the new year, and go over my planners and set some new intentions and maybe like update my routines and my vision board. I do all that in my Notion, so I'll show you guys how I do that. I find that very satisfying. And then I want to reorganise my books and make sure that my winter reading is ready to go. I'm just finishing off some more autumnal reads and then I'll get more into those kind of darker books, I suppose, for the winter months. So I want to show you what I'm going to be reading, and I also want to share how I enjoy this season. Like I said, not everyone is a fan of winter, so I wanted to share some tips and ideas of how you can make the most of the winter time. So in terms of planning, I actually use my slow living planner that I sell the template for on my Etsy store. So it's a Notion planner and it's been by far my best seller on my Etsy store. You guys seem to have really enjoyed it. I know it's made a massive difference for me using it this year because I designed it in a way that means I can stay organised and feel calm and meet my goals and feel productive, but also make sure that I'm living in a way that is intentional and aligned with what makes me happy, what works for me, at the pace that works for me. And yeah, it's been completely amazing to use this year. So I know a lot of us will be thinking about planning for the new year, so if this is something that you maybe think you would find value with, I'll make sure I'll link it down below so you can check it out. But in terms of what I'm going to be doing today, first of all, I'm going to be looking at my monthly planner. So now we're going into December, I want to be reflecting on the previous month, anything I've learnt, any successes, making sure I recognise those, and then set some intentions for this new month in December. And then I also like to pick a word of the month because that's just a fun thing to do. I also want to check in on my routines. So I have my morning and evening routines detailed in my planner. And I like to reflect on them with the season changing because sometimes that means I change things around. I definitely changed it around when it was my autumn, so from summer to autumn with the darker days then meant that I wanted to change a few things in terms of like when I wanted to take the dog out. I don't know if I'll be changing much this time. I seem to have got good routines that work for me, but I'll at least check them. And I also want to update my vision board because that is super fun, although I'll be really sad. Autumn's my favourite season, so it's always a little bit bittersweet at this time of year because I also love winter. But I'll be really sad to replace some of those more autumnal photos. So I have to make sure I pick some really good ones to get me excited for the winter months. So that's what I'm going to be cracking on with now. Molly from the future here. I just wanted to take a quick break from this vlog to introduce the sponsor of this week's video, and that is Subtract. Subtract are a B certified UK based skincare company that are on a mission to reduce plastic waste without compromising on great skin. All of their solid skincare products are certified as both vegan and cruelty free, as well as being dermatology approved as they're packed full of skin friendly ingredients like vitamin C. I've been really enjoying using their products and feel better that I know that I'm using products that are in line with my values. They kindly sent me their gentle foaming cleanser along with their moisturising facial balm. Both these products are included in their Switch to Solid bundle. Their coconut based cleanser makes my skin feel really fresh and light. It also smells lovely with a blend of geranium and rose. The solid bar design is really clever, it's easy to use and put on and doesn't get too sudsy, which I really like. Similarly, their moisturiser is also really simple to apply, smells gorgeous, and I like the fact that it doesn't sit too heavy on my skin, but it still makes it feel really nice and soft. Both products have now become staples in my skincare routine. All of Subtract's products would make the most wonderful mindful gift this festive season. You can buy the products individually or one of their various bundles that you can get at a discounted price. And excitingly, from the 1st of December, while stocks last, they will be offering a signed copy of this beautiful book, Wabi Sabi by Beth Kempton, with every bundle that they sell. I know this will really appeal to my fellow bookworms out there. If you're intrigued and want to learn more about Subtract, then you can follow the link that I've included in my description. Thank you very much to Subtract for sponsoring this week's video, and let's get back to the vlog. Thought I'd share some of my intentions just in case you guys are interested in what I'm thinking of focusing on this month. So it's definitely feeling like, you know, coming to the end of the year, I really want to focus on spending a little bit of time to slow down, reflect, not pushing on work so much, kind of winding things up. So this month there's going to be a little bit more to do with that, as opposed to usually I set like maybe 2 or 3 of them to be more work focused goals. There's less of that this month, which is quite nice. So my first one is about spending more time on my Substack. So this is where I do my writing. So if you're not already subscribed, I do a weekly newsletter on my Substack. You can get it straight to your email if you sign up, but you can also visit it. It's like a blog space as well. And I love it. I really love writing on there. Writing is my biggest passion. So I really want to spend a little bit more time on it and thinking about it, how I can develop it a little bit more. So that's my main work goal. And then in terms of my other goals, I want to read at least 2 books. I've been slowing down a little bit with reading recently, which is surprising because this is usually my busiest time for reading. I usually love to read in the autumn, but I think I've just been busy doing other things, and I think I had a couple of books in there that I was like less excited about, which slowed me down a little bit. So I definitely want to give myself a modest but very likely goal. I think I'll probably read more like 3 or 4 books, but I'm going to say at least 2. I want to prioritise meditating because again I seem to have fallen off that a little bit. This is just me being very honest and realistic with you guys. You know, I'm not someone that can stay on top of all the things that I suggest on my videos personally. So meditating, I've probably not meditated for 3-4 weeks now, which is not good. So I need to pick that back up, which would be quite easy to do because I use the app Aura. I'm actually a brand ambassador for them as well because I love what they do. They do really easy massive range of different meditations on there, and it's just a really nice place to spend time. So again, as always, linked to my description if you want to check Aura out yourself. I do recommend it as like a meditating space. And then I've just put a general have a slow festive season. So I do struggle sometimes with Christmas. There's a lot in it that makes me a little bit anxious as someone that is more introverted, someone that cares a lot about sustainability and minimalist. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this in my next video. I'm going to focus a little bit more on Christmas and the festive season and how I approach it. But I just wanted a general nod to just making sure that I slow down and look after myself this festive season. And linked to that, my 5th intention is to enjoy time with family. And then my word of the month is rest. Very simple. It's definitely something that I think a lot of us feel coming to the end of the year, that you just need a little bit of time to just pause, refresh. I've done quite a lot this year. I've gone fully self-employed with this business. So it's been quite a busy year, which I really enjoyed, but I definitely want to take this month to really slow things down and rest, which is so important. So yeah, that's been fun, and I did my vision board and that was loads of fun as well. So now I think I'm gonna get probably gonna have a little bit of lunch before we get on with books because I'm getting hungry. I'm just getting all my books together to sort out my winter reading list, so I will show you what we are dealing with. Okay, so don't judge me. This is where we're at the moment in terms of books that I am yet to read this year, this season, or just in general. So these are like all my TBR books, and then I still have some books up on my shelves, these ones in particular here that I haven't read. I haven't read a few of these classics, but I just keep them all together because they look aesthetic on my shelf. But the main bulk is these guys down here, so I need to sort them out because I basically keep my books in baskets. I said that in my recent vlog about Bookworm Starter Pack. I have like, this is my kind of longer term basket, this is kind of what I'm reading currently or want to read soon, and then that's actually, I've read that, but the rest is literally just overflow. So I am putting myself on a little bit of a book pause over the next couple of months because I definitely have plenty to be reading. So I will sort these quickly and then I'll show you what I will be reading for the next few weeks. So I'm feeling a bit more organised now with my reading, and I separated out the kind of books I'm going to be reading, probably the most wintry books I've got at the moment. Sky's joining us in this segment because she felt left out. So I'm going to whiz through these because this is only a selection. This is still quite a few books. I don't remember, I think I've even mentioned this in my Getting Ready for Autumn vlog. I still haven't read it. So I've been quite bad at reading my classics recently, which is a shame because when I do read them I really enjoy them, but I really want to reread this. I read this actually when I was a teenager. Yeah, Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Definitely felt like more of an autumnal read, so I'll try and squeeze that in the next few weeks anyway. And then this isn't really a winter read necessarily, but it's really intrigued me. I wanted to know if anyone else has read it. I picked it up in a charity shop. I just think the front cover was very intriguing, and on the back it doesn't say much, but it says, they say you can't choose your family but you can kill them. Meet Grace Bernard, daughter, sister, serial killer. Grace has lost everything and she will stop at nothing to get revenge. So I think it's like, it's, I don't know if it's horror, but it's kind of a mix between like comedy but also like a little bit of darker sort of material. So it's definitely more of an autumn winter book, but it just looked like fun. So if anyone's read it, let me know because it's really well reviewed, so I think it's going to be a good one. And then this one was a bit of a naughty buy because I just said the day before, right, I've got enough books, I need to stop buying books for a couple of months, and I was researching something for YouTube or for my job, and then this came up on Amazon and I was like, that's inevitable. So it's called The Lost Bookshop, and it's essentially about a bookshop that is waiting to be found, and these friends find it, and it's like a vanishing bookshop, so it's obviously got like a little bit of magic in there, and it's about their story and how it mixes with this bookshop and how it changes by unlocking like secrets on the shelves. So it sounds great, and the cover's gorgeous, and I'm very excited. This is going to be one I read very soon because I've been looking at it for a couple of weeks now and I really want to get into that. And then another one I got ages ago, but I've been waiting for winter to read it because I just feel like it would be a good one. Again, I got this second hand, which is good because I've actually seen it pushed a lot by Waterstones recently, mostly because it's based in Inverness and I live just down the road from Inverness. So it's a historical novel, kind of murder mystery, basically a bookseller in Inverness in 1752. He lives a quiet life, but then he finds a customer. He had a customer the previous day. He finds him murdered the next day, and I think he then gets involved in the story. I think he becomes a bit of a suspect and trying to figure out what's happened, why this guy's murdered. So yeah, it looks good. I really like atmospheric read for the winter. And then I just got actually a collection of short stories. I thought that would be quite nice to dip into on particularly like wintry nights. And yeah, I have been reading more short stories recently. I've been quite enjoying that, so hopefully not too scary because it does say like haunting tales. I'm hoping it's like I'm a bit of a wuss, but we'll see. If it's too scary I will pass this one on. Almost there, guys. So this actually was sent by a viewer, a subscriber. She got in touch and it's her first novel. She wanted to know if I wanted to receive it, and I was like yes, because it essentially is a spin-off, but it's related to the Twilight series. So if any of you like me, or maybe a similar age, I was obsessed with Twilight when I was like, I want to say like teenager, but probably into early adulthood, and I still love it. I still love the story. I know it's not like the most accomplished writing or story in the world, but it was really popular. So it's essentially based back in Forks, where Twilight began, and it's basically, I think it's essentially people that know that Twilight was written, and they're looking into it and finding out actually is there some truth behind this story. So yeah, just sort of another vampire-esque type easy book to read. So this is going to be really fun, so I hope to read that soon. And I've got this one, The Winter Ghosts, and I think I've mentioned this one before and a few of you guys have said you've read it and you really like it, but I think it essentially ends up being a man, 1928, has a car accident and ends up finding this village in the woods and meeting this woman, I think it's a woman anyway, and they share their stories, and by doing that they get the key to unlock a heartbreaking mystery, as it says. So it's, yeah, another kind of mystery type book, but again the cover is just gorgeous and perfect for winter. If you've got any good winter book recommendations, not that I probably need any more, but at least some other people in the community might want to read them, so please do drop them in the comments as always. And before I end this vlog, like I said, I wanted to share some tips of how you can maybe enjoy winter if it isn't normally your favourite season. I think my top tip is always, all through the year, but I think especially the case in the winter, is to get outside. I think a lot of us, if it's cold and dark and wet and whatever, it's maybe feeling less likely to do so, but I always find that it's makes such a difference. You can get outside, you can connect with the natural world, see how the season's changing, and then you get that lovely feeling of going back inside and getting warm and cosy. I really do recommend getting outside as much as you can, even if it's just sitting outside in the garden for 10 minutes with a blanket and a hot drink and a book. I think that's just a really nice thing to do. And then of course making your home really cosy. So I don't really decorate for like Christmas, but I do like to make sure I've got like plenty of candles and blankets and obviously books, and creating little cosy spaces that you can really kind of rest and enjoy the slower pace of this season. I think it's great to plan things to look forward to, both like looking forward to spring, but also for the winter months, some activities that you know you really enjoy, and of course embracing the season. So like I do, you know, I like to change my life a little bit with the seasons, so I change what I read, what I watch, what I wear obviously, and really just sort of maybe take some time to think about it, and you maybe will find yourself enjoying it a lot more. And then lastly, again, this is kind of a advice or a tip for all year round, is to be kind to yourself. You know, if you are someone that struggles in the darker months or the colder months, then really just make sure that you look after yourself and do things to make you happy and bring you joy. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching as always. I really enjoyed filming it, and I will catch up with you guys next week.